Hello and welcome everyone to Freedom, Not Tyranny. I'm your host, David Torres. This is a show about you, about your rights, your freedom. A different show. A show about big government versus little government. A show about your Second Amendment rights. A show about your freedom, your rights to vote. A show that involves how to keep yourself independent. Your rights to do what you feel is necessary for you and your family. This is what this show is all about. I hope you enjoy it. Freedom, not tyranny. Producer who's hiding all the time but is more active than you could ever imagine, because we can't do it without him. And let's start off by the good news is my Eagles are still out there. They're doing good. They're 10-1 right now, and everybody's trying to play cash up. So all you wishful haters out there, you still ain't got us. And within a few more games, you're going to be wishing you were getting the home field advantage like the Eagles will have. This is the Eagles' year. So suck it up, everybody, because we're here to stay. All right. Let's get to the show today, because we got a couple interesting topics that I want to talk to you about, which is going to make some news to you. I don't know if people understand or if you're aware the looming problem that we're having with the railroad strike. And if people think that when they're saying railroad strike that we're not going to have Amtrak to run anymore, that's not even the tip of the iceberg with the situation that's going on with this railroad strike. What we're referring to in the railroad strike is cargo, supplies, the need, moving merchandise from one part of the country to another. Everybody thinks that it's all done through shipping yards and through, a lot of people, not everybody, think it's done through shipping yards and through trucking, but that's not the actual truth. The railroad system transports a lot of our products across the country, especially the parts of the country that doesn't have the middle of the country that doesn't have ports for ships to come in, and doesn't have a lot to do with the railroad systems. I mean, with the truckers. So we need to have that railroad system. The problem here is that I want to make you all aware. Back in September 15th, before the midterm election, this railroad strike was looming. And it just so happens to be that once again, Biden kind of slides underneath what's happening, and it's almost like covering shit up again. Because here goes another situation where the railroad system, if we don't have it, it's going to affect everybody in this country. Everybody. It's going to affect supplies for, say, Canada's lumber that we buy coming into the United States. It's going to affect transporting of merchandise, not only toys, but actual merchandise that are transported through the railroad system. And with everything from agriculture to building and maintenance to medical supplies. I mean, you name it, it's going to be involved in it. So we could be heading into a catastrophe that nobody realizes how bad it is. The reason why I'm bringing this up to you is because the due date, if for them to go on strike, is December 9th. Tomorrow, if anybody doesn't realize it, is 30th. So that only really gives you 10 days before allowing this to be on strike. Now, here goes the real nit of this story. Remember how I said that on midterms, this strike was starting and the issue was coming up, And President Biden, here we go, Bimbo Biden again, comes on national television and says that he and his team, settled this, and there wasn't going to be a strike. And this went on September 15th. You can look it up, where Bozo Biden gets up on the mic and says that they took care of this, there's no strike, there's no danger, and it just so happens to be 15 to 17 days prior to the election. So all of it got pushed under a rug. And no strike, it got diverted. There's not going to be a strike. Everybody's okay. And they kind of covered it up again. And here, election went over, and you wind up questions about what was going on. And I'm going to tell you, it's both parties, guys. We need to stop this nonsense as voters, accepting what people are telling us out there, accepting what the Republicans and the Democrat Party is doing and saying to us, because they're both full of crap. They both are. They lie and lie and lie. He came out and said that there was not going to be a strike on September 15th, and all they did was divert the strike to after the election. So who knows what on God's planet Biden promised to keep this going. Okay? He constantly does this, and he lies. Biden, you're a freaking liar. David Torres is telling you, I hope you hear this, or somebody tells you, because I would be more than glad to tell it to you to your face. You're a stone-faced liar. That's what you are. You're a clown. You're a liar. You ain't jack shit when it comes to the White House, because you're hurting this country so bad, it's pathetic. You're hurting us. And you're cheating the people of this country. And the Republicans are just as guilty, because you're both the same party. You may say some are Democrats, and you may say some of you are Republicans, but you know that you're just one party in a nutshell. You make your private deals. You use certain things to come across like you want to do something, and it's a joke. Social Security, seniors, Social Security, seniors, the border, immigration. This didn't start today. Come on, people. Stop paying attention to these clowns out there. Washington is full of clowns. I'm going to ask Danny if from now on, whenever we're going to start something in an episode on Washington, I want him to play the song, Where Are the Clowns? Here Come the Clowns. Don't bother, they're here. And just show Biden and every Republican and Democrat person in Congress and in Senate, because that's what they are. It's turned out to be Washington's comedy clown show. That's all it is. That's all it is. But I'm gonna try to be decent and not do too much to hurt what we have to say. But this is a serious problem. If this strike goes in, it's gonna affect everything we've had. Every issue we have is gonna be a problem. We get everything from food, like I said, to medicine, to hardware, to forget everything that you touch is going to be affected by this strike. That's how serious this is. And they're not telling you the truth. I'm telling you, they're lying and they're bullshitting you. And the Biden administration and Biden knows it's a lie. And the Republicans know it's a lie. And it's gotten to the point where Biden is now asking Congress to intervene and not allow them to go on strike. Okay, here's a guy who said, I'm a union president. I'm a labor president. And I'm going to show you in the next segment another way that he's bullshitting union workers. And he's lying to the American people. And from now on, I'm going to make sure that I take, when I'm talking to him, is take the time out to show you really clear how much this man is lying to you. How much the Republicans and the Democrats are both using you. How they're playing their games. Because there's not two parties out here. It's one party. So since it's one party, we need to seriously talk about ending this so-called two-party system. It's got to end. They have a monopoly. They control everything, and they're controlling everything that we're hearing. Everything from CNN all the way through, they lie to you, and they whine, and they complain, and everything's in their pocket. 87,000 IRS people coming. Do you really think that they're just coming here just to go after the percentage of people who are millionaires? There ain't that many out there. They're coming after you and me. And I don't really care what they say. I'm gonna say it's still free speech up to now, even though they had the FBI go to Twitter, they had FBI go to Facebook and control what we were told prior to the election. They had them control what was being said about Hunter Biden and Biden and their activities. They controlled it. They lied to us. They took control of it. This is not China. This is not Russia. This is not Cuba. This is still the United States of America, and we still have the right to speak, and we still have the right to know what's going on by our government. You're not in charge of us. You are an employee of the people of America, like it or not. And I'm going to make sure that I say that and show everybody how you're lying to them. Okay? This bullshit with the Biden family, I wish he would tell me that they used to take care of people by taking them in the schoolyard. I would sell tickets. I would have tickets, winner take all with me and Biden. I mean, shit. You know, if I catch him in an upwind, I don't even have to do anything. He'll probably fall over from the wind blowing on his dumb ass. Anyway, but let's take a quick commercial break. And then we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you another series besides the lies that they did with the railroad strike that's coming. And I'm going to show you another incident. So grab a cup of coffee, listen to the commercial. It's kind of cute. It's a little rap group that's going on. It was sent to me by my friend Aaron. And no, it wasn't Aaron. It was Jacob, right? Jacob sent us this one. Aaron's we didn't do anything with. Jacob sent us this one. And we're going to put, the guy that everybody thinks doesn't exist. We're going to put Jacob's little piece up so everybody know that the countryside and the country people have their little rappers too. All right? So enjoy the commercial, and we'll be right back. And let's send a thank you out to Jacob.
What's going on? God-fearing, God-toting patriots. I love the Second Amendment. God gave it to me. Not one politician, not one government legislation can take it from me.
MAGA gang, tag gang, MAGA gang, tag gang, MAGA gang, tag gang, MAGA gang, tag gang. Hey, yo,
I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Bryson, why they mad? Cause I'm real and they be faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting, Bible-reading, God-believing, truth-speaking American. This MAGA season, Democrats committing treason. I know they think it's sweet, but you don't know who you dealing with. This for free thinkers only. You ain't got no membership. They free. General Flynn out the cage, cause he innocent. Barton Roger Stone, cause the run know that he innocent. We need to kick out every single illegal immigrant. Mandatory voter ID laws we need to implement. Tell Jussie Smollett that I know this MAGA country. Tell China we know they tryna play us like some dummies. I looked deep into it and I did the math. Why did Obama send money to that Wuhan lab? What is George Soros doing with all of his cash? Why did China take that Harvard guy and drop him a bag? Why is there so much propaganda? Funny you ask. How about that Bill Gates vaccine? Now, sorry I'll pass, cause I'm a gun-toting patriot. God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate. It's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it. Okay.
All red MAGA flags waving through the South like we just want 4 more years. Democrats can't get right. Trumping with that Yeezy flow. Don't go broke on Sleepy Joe. Make America great again. Seeing that what you hating for. Military working overtime, I salute y'all. Antifa steady trying to play them games, yeah, we see y'all. Can't knock us down, Republicans standing too tall. About to run it back to back, yeah, that's how we ball. Trump, yeah, okay, bury him a legend, yeah, Trump, hey. Okay, America's biggest blessing. Free speech advocate, packing, never lacking it. I just bought another gun and ain't nobody taking it, gang. Okay, the White House going crazy now. MAGA season, tell them liberals they can't break us down. It's up, they know we run it, best believe it now. About to paint the city red, please don't burn it down.
Gang, tag, gang, MAGA, gang, tag, gang, MAGA, gang, tag, gang, MAGA, gang, tag, gang, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey, yo.
I'm a gun-toting patriot, God-fearing patriot. Pricing why they mad, cause I'm really Navy faking it. Free speech advocate, it's on my mind, I'm saying it. I'm about to buy another gun and ain't nobody taking it.
And I want to make this clear as well. If you want to come and get my rifle, good luck.
Get a kick out of watching the the commercial like that, and we played the whole thing, and that's a gift from our boy Jacob, and he gives us little tip tats like that we kind of find funny, and to let you know, we also miss Brian, from Kiss My Ass. We sure miss him. Let's get back to where the white lies, the White House white lies. How about that one? The White House white lies, because Biden was when he first came into the presidency. One of the first things he did was to limit and take away the rights to drilling and production of the oil, and he stopped the pipelines, etc., that we could have brought in from Canada. He eliminated all them jobs on us. But this is the union job president. Okay? Think about the bullshit that comes out of this man's mouth. Okay? I just need you. He states he is the president of the people. No, he's not. He says he's a union president. No, he's not. People have lost their jobs, good jobs, with his Green Deal, which is another bullshit that he talks about. Okay? There's no way on God's earth right now that the United States can totally go green. No way. It's impossible to happen now. I don't call any professor you want, any engineer you want, anybody you want. There's no way that this man, other than destroying what our economy is, other than taking away our independence as we were to resources outside of the United States. We were independent. We produced more than what we needed. We were selling oil and gas across the ocean to other countries. This is how this man has lied and bullshitted and cheated. We can't. 80%, 70-80% of the electricity produced in this country today is via fossil fuel and coal. There's no way. And watch if it's not even more. 90%. This is how much bullshit this man is putting out to you. Green New Deal. The man took a jet with all the people to Delaware to vote. Green New Deal. He's full of shit. His staff runs around the entire country, right, with this Green New Deal. They're not all running in electric cars, unless you're Buttigieg and you ride in, half a mile away, you jump out of the 4x4 and then ride in on the bike like you rode all the way to work on a bike. Okay? And, we can't have Biden do it because as soon as he stops, he falls over. So that can't happen. You got AOC who wants to stop all kinds of fossil fuel use by us. I guess we're going to start rolling our military sheeps back to get the war. Hopefully we can get to somebody to help if we need to. Put sails on our big ships and see how far we can get them going, and slingshot our planes and see how far they go. But this guy lies. He lies. He took away our independence. He stopped production. He tells you, oh, we got all these permits for people to drill, oil companies to drill. Well, let me understand something. He gives you that, but he doesn't tell you there's the roads to get them in the refinery is difficult. After the refinery is done with it, to get it done and ready to go to the market, he destroyed the pipelines. He stopped their work. Those were great jobs. Great jobs. And he can't say he's hurting white people because he's hurting the ones that he said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. You remember that? You had to vote for him if you were black, because if not, you really wasn't black. I don't know where he got that shit from, because that was the man that didn't want his kids to go to school with any of our kids that were of color. I guess his kids graduated, and nothing that happens in the world affects them like, I don't know, using crack, popping pills, running the streets. None of that happens with his kids because he protected them from hanging around with our kids. Our kids weren't good enough to go to school with his kids. He didn't want them confused. But he took the oil jobs away from us. Now, this super idiot, he went to OPEC, tried to get Saudi Arabia to produce more. Ain't nobody scared of this man. Nobody. He wants them to increase production because he took away our production, and all they did was laugh at his dumb ass and produce less, which rose the cost of each barrel of oil so that it cost us more. And it affected everything that's happening overseas in Europe. He took it away. Now, when that deal didn't go through and he looked like the dumbass that he is, now he's going to Venezuela. Now, check this out. He's going to Venezuela and he makes a deal so Chevron can get some of the money that they owe, Chevron supposedly. He gets the okay. He took away the restrictions for Venezuela. Now remember, this is the government that's in Venezuela that's not recognized by the United States of America as the rightful leader of that country. But Bimbo Biden went over there and is making a deal with them. Now let me understand. And I want to see if anybody out there thinks that he really thinks that you're stupid. There's no other way of putting it. He thinks you're too stupid to see this. He stops the production here. He goes to OPEC, who really, they don't care how much damage they do to anything producing the oil. Then he goes to Venezuela and is going to try to get them to pump up more oil. And they don't care how much damage they do. We're the number one producer in this country that produces oil, the safest you could possibly think of. Are there accidents? Yes. Do things go wrong? Yes. But we clean up our spills. We do what we have to do. We do everything we can, as much as we can, to protect the environment. But our union pro-worker president, it's hard for me even to say it because he's so full of shit, is going everywhere else, but doesn't go here and say to our people, can you drill more? He tells everybody here that we're increased and we're producing more. Yes, but it's all private land. See, there's certain things that they don't tell you because they figure, hey, you're too stupid. We're going to give the American people this to say. We'll give them a stimulus check. We'll raise up a couple food stamps, and so what? So people lose their jobs. And then he just does the same thing. He doesn't care. We could be paying less for gas right now. We could not have a problem. If this railroad strike that I spoke earlier goes through, we need to increase truckers to be able to try to make up for a percentage of that time that's lost to move products around. The only thing he doesn't tell you, again, that he screwed up with them also. You know how he said he was a truck driver? I don't know. To me, he must have been on a Tonka truck, or big wheel. Because can you see this idiot driving a tractor trailer? Really? In anybody's mind, at any time, even when he was in Senate, even when he worked in Washington, if you want to call it jobs that he did, do you really think that this idiot drove a truck? But right now, we're down thousands of truck drivers. We need truck drivers to be able to do it. But again, him and his staff have all these restrictions all over the place, and they keep screwing things up. I want to use other words, but I don't want to get Danny upset with me. And I'm trying to be patient. But he does things like this, and he lies to people, and he lies to everybody out there. It's a lie. And then he goes everywhere else. Do you really think that they are so concerned about the environment like we are? Do you think that Venezuela is worried about it like we are? No. And we're going to a government that we turned around and don't even recognize as the leader of the country, but we're going to deal with them. This man's an idiot. He really is. And he thinks that you are stupid because you don't know he's an idiot. it's a shame that we keep putting up with this nonsense. Okay? We got a country here now that now he's on this tidbit with China. Everywhere he touches, it's a joke. Nobody cares about this guy. And all you got on a nutshell when you look at it, it's going to be a lot of things that his hands are in, and I know that Congress is in. Congress owns stock in it, you know, or Congress has influence somewhere, or his son has got bids on things. Big guy, Mr. Big Guy, or the big guy. Whatever shit you pull on everybody else, I'm not buying it. And I'm going to keep putting your ass out there. So I don't care if it's just one person that catches on to you. That's one less vote you get. One less vote. But remember, people, it's not about the Democrats and the Republicans, because there really is one unit. They're one group. They're a uniparty. And they're screwing you. And the next target for them are the Latino voters. So remember that. Remember that when they tell you, oh, we need more workers, we need more labor people, but he takes jobs away. We need more labor people, we need more workers, and, you know, and that's why we're bringing immigrants in. He's full of shit. There were more illegal immigrants brought into this country in his election than legal immigrants brought into this country. Keep that in mind. Google how many people we bring legally here, immigrants, a year, and then Google how many we've already have who came here illegally. You have Chuck Schumer come up, and I think I look better in glasses than he does, because mine don't fall off. But Chuck Schumer years ago said illegal coming into this country have to be deported because they're illegals. No shit. It's against the Constitution, against the law. A few weeks ago, he sat on the steps in Washington, stood on the steps in Washington, talking about the illegals have to be welcomed. Well, I wonder what happened from the last time he was there. I guess he graduated from the same school that Biden did when he said on September 15th that a deal was made, and now, if it's not settled between now and the 9th, we're shit out of luck and everybody's in trouble. Dude, listen to me, people. We don't produce anything here. Even the antibiotics that they give the kids that are in powder form and they mix it, there's a shortage of because it comes from China. China right now has got a problem with COVID-19, and they're shuts down and more COVID-19 spread. Right now. And there's a humongous uproar in China. And instead of him, you say that there's an issue with what's going on? No, not him. Because he can't. Because China owns him. If China sits down at Ching, whatever his name is, sits down at a nice big table and sits back and tells Biden to put on a tutu and a miniskirt and give him a lap dance, that's what Biden's got to do. It's a horrible picture to paint, but that's where we're at with China. If him, the leader of China and the leader of Russia, tells him to put on a miniskirt and do a lap dance for him or swing on a pole, that's what Biden's going to do. That's your leader. I hope that you keep in mind what I'm telling you. Remember that I keep telling you January 1st is coming, January 3rd, and we have some new things that are going on here in Philadelphia. We hope that you become part of it, and I'm going to tell you more and more about it as we get closer. But now I hope that everybody had a decent Thanksgiving, and if you're planning on having a good Christmas, you might want to get out there and do, and kind of really pay attention to what your spending is, because we got a problem going on if that strike hits us on the 9th. And there's a crazy notion. We got the crypto problems going on. We just had another company go bankrupt with crypto and coins, the Bitcoins, and it's a problem. This is not just a problem with somebody going bankrupt. It's all the money that's involved, all the money that was invested on these unsecured banking system, if you want to call it that. Please, people, pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you have enough food and water to help your family out. Because this crisis hits, man, it's going to be bad. And I hope and pray that it doesn't. I hope and pray that even with Bimbo Biden, that somehow he can crawl into that basement and somebody in his administration have enough common sense to figure out what to do. But I don't see it happening with him. So I'm going to ask everybody to pray. Pray for the leaders of this country. Pray for what's happening. Pray that we can end this two-party system and let everybody have the right to run. The Green Party, the Labor Party, whatever parties out there that we can run. That independence, independence. I've been saying this for a long time. I've been a Republican 40 years. Now I seem to feel like I wasted my time with the Republican Party. That's why I'm shifting, and that's why I left my ward, and that's why I'm going to be going independent, non-party affiliated, because I'm going to push. I'm going to push for the end of this two-party system. I'm going to push for us to be able to have everybody participate in the primary that wants to run, because it's wrong. By the time we get to know what's happening out here, they've already, look at here. You voted for a guy for Senate he had half of his votes in before he had a debate. There's a lot of things going wrong in this country. And we got to stop ending this two-party system. If we end the two-party system, we start to fix what's happening in this country. Jacob told me that, by the way. So if it doesn't come true, you can blame Jacob. Okay? He really does exist. So does Brian. I know you guys don't believe me, but they do exist. They're out there. Take care. God bless. Please hear what I've said and pay attention. Google stuff. Don't let them tell you. Take care. Hello and welcome, everyone, to Freedom, Not Tyranny. I'm your host, David Torres. This is a show about you, about your rights, your freedom. A different show. A show about big government versus little government. A show about your Second Amendment rights. A show about your freedom, your rights to vote. A show that involves how to keep yourself independent. Your rights to do what you feel is necessary for you and your family. This is what this show is all about. I hope you enjoy it. Freedom, not tyranny.